Before this video starts, I want to give a massive shout out to all my channel members. If you want to receive a shout out, then become a channel member today and you'll be shown on screen like all these other channel members here. Anyways, enjoy the video. In version 15.3, Divine Terun had received talents, and in this video, I want to go over what she had gotten and to see if these talents are able to improve her kit. The talents that she had received include Barrier Breaker, Wave Immunity, Savage Blow, and Standard Attack and Defense talents. Before we start, like, comment, subscribe, the whole ordeal. The footage of Talented Terun is at level 40. Stats discussed will be at level 30. Before we dive into her talents, I want to give a quick overview on Terun as a unit and what her role is. Terun is a unit that's mainly valuable for a specialist niche of dealing solid damage and slowing red and alien enemies. Her low cost of only 3,000 and 61 second cooldown means she's capable of accumulating long-term damage over the course of a battle, especially if you can stack them. She also sports the Savage Blow ability, which gives her a 20% chance to triple her damage, which can easily clear peons and supporting threats and chunk larger enemies. With max treasures, her slow has an uptime of 84%, which is fairly impressive. Her Colossus Slayer also allows her to be super useful against Baron Seal, as she can chunk the seal and the Star Pangs present in the second half of the gauntlet. Now with that brief introduction to Divine Terun out of the way, what do her talents give her that can make her stronger? I'm going to start with her stat talents, as these are the most simple. Her attack talents bump her base damage to 25,500 and against her targets, bumps this damage to 45,900 damage. Into base Colossus enemies, this damage spikes to 40,800 and into red alien Colossus jumps to 73,440 damage. In terms of DPS, this bumps her average DPS to 6,263 DPS or 11,273 DPS into her targets. Base Colossus enemies face an average of 10,021 DPS, while targeted Colossus enemies face 18,038 average DPS. Her base health is bumped to 42,840, which in turn gives her an effective 107,000 health. Against base Colossus enemies, her health jumps to 61,200, while her target Colossus health is now 153,000. While her health talents provide some extra bonus health, her ability to reposition thanks to her 4 knockbacks are generally sufficient enough with their normal health in stages that feature her targets, so the extra health generally isn't needed. The main thing it helps with is in stages that have piercing enemies, making their chip a little bit less impactful. Her damage boost on the other hand is a pretty solid boost, especially when paired with another one of her talents. It should be mentioned that like every single stat talent, level her up with Cat's Eyes before you consider getting her attack talents in the first place, as a lot of the time, the extra levels alone tend to cover a slight lack of damage, and better to spend a few Cat's Eyes and XP before spending any NP. However, if you do intend on getting her attack talents, I would consider getting her Savage Blow talents first. This talent will boost her chance of activating it by 10% for a new activation chance of 30%. This ends up giving her almost the same boost to her DPS as it would giving her full attack talents, boosting her average DPS to 5,965 or 10,737 DPS against her targets. When paired with her attack talents, this new average DPS jumps to 7,158 or 12,884 against red and alien enemies. Her Savage Blow is a very solid talent that can give her a good boost to her general damage performance, especially if paired with her other attack talents. Terun still has 2 more talents, one of these being Barrier Breaker. This talent is pretty much useless on her, as at max level, it only has a 50% chance to break barriers. Even then, her damage is already good enough to break all the barriers in the game, save for Ultra Baba and Yukan, but you could just use Kitty of Liberty or Breaker Blast, or other barrier breakers that already have the ability baked into their kits to break barriers. Her final talent, Wave Immunity on the other hand, is a fairly solid addition to her kit. There is a decent amount of red and alien enemies who have the ability to either wave or mini-wave, with the most notable of these enemies being Toucan, Yukan, and Infernal Pegasus DNL. DNL in particular, while rare, can be extremely aggravating to deal with thanks to their mini-wave, with Terun being able to outrange the horse thanks to having 430 range and deal solid damage to it while not getting stunned by constant freezing means that the horse can be managed way more easily. Also, because Terun is able to outrange almost every single waver in the game, she's able to be brought more easily into stages that heavily feature her targets, while also featuring some waving enemies. So, how would I rate Terun's talents? Well, most of Terun's talents are fairly solid. Most of her talents are able to provide her with tools that allow her to be better at what she's already good at. Considering Terun is a low cost, low cooldown unit, the effective value that comes from these talents is greater compared to some units. The only talent that's a miss on her is her Barrier Breaker. Every other talent is fairly solid, as boosting her offensive tools allows Terun to take care of enemies way faster. Wave Immunity also gives her a brand new niche against several enemies, including those who are red and alien. If you're looking to invest in her, then Savage Blood would be my choice to look into first, but remember, only invest in talents if you intend to use the unit somewhat often. With all that said, I want to thank you for watching this analysis of Terun's talents. If you thought this insight was interesting, then be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy Battlecats content, and comment down below your thoughts on them. I'd love to hear what you all think. Also, shout out to the following channel members: Dr. Deadly, Gamet, Virus Opero, Just a Shark, Gross Cat the Ultra, Potato King, Atsushi, King Wolf, Glamorous, Barely Grover, Jade Rabbit, Janet Goldenberg, Sensical Gaming, I May Be Dumb, I'm Too Few, Alex Dudurex, and Carlos Fabian for being silver members to hire. If you want to receive a shout out like these channel members here, then become a silver member hire today. Becoming a channel member supports what I do in a way that helps keep the lights on and allows me to continue making content for all of you to watch. Anyways, I hope you have a wonderful day.